Hi there. My name is Mike Myers, and I have a couple of things I want to talk about the flat Earth thing. But before we get started, I just want to say, Jamie Lee Curtis, I'm sorry about everything. I'm tired with the chase. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sorry for what I did, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I had a messed up childhood, and things didn't go well. And so, I'm just sorry for all those things I've done, all those years, making you live in fear. I'm sure you're pretty stressed out, and I didn't know better. But that's all behind me now, and I'm hoping that you can forgive me, and we can move forward. So maybe we can be friends even, and go out for a drink or something. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way, so because my this is all behind me, I started to think about other things too, and I remember when I was chasing people around in the middle of the night with my knife, and I would find myself looking up at the sky and looking up at the moon, and thinking to myself, it's a round moon and it's beautiful, and of course Earth is round, and then I started to hear about this flat Earth thing, and it's a real thing. People actually believe that Earth is flat, and I find that kind of hard to believe, but the thing is, there's people out there who really believe this stuff, and I just have a question for all the flat earthers out there. So if you could just give me like 10-15 minutes, I'll try to make my point, and maybe you can give me some feedback, because I'm kind of confused about the whole thing. So as I understand it, the moon, the planets, everything's round. Earth is round, and it spins, and we go around the sun and so forth. So it makes the days make sense, and the positions of the sun, and certain places have daylight while certain places have nighttime. So as we understand it, Earth is just a circle, and here's the sun right here, and we spin like this, and then we're also going around the sun. So it makes sense. It makes sense for the sun to be shining light on the Earth at certain parts during its rotation, right? Okay, so that makes sense, right? Let me just point this out. So the flat earthers have to explain that. How is it that there's certain times of the day and times of night, and how does that all make sense if the Earth is flat? Well, I looked up some videos, and it looks to me like some of the flat earthers think that let's just say this is a top view of the Earth. Okay, that's flat Earth. That's a top view of it. And so they're saying that the sun isn't so big, because you got to ask the question: if the world is flat, then how come we don't always have constant sunlight? If the world's flat like this, then why don't we just have constant sunlight blasting the whole plane? Then the answer is, what I understand, that the sun isn't as big as you think. If that's flat Earth, the sun is actually just this big, and the sun rotates. The sun moves across the plane, so the sunlight only beams that much sun on the flat Earth, if I'm not mistaken. And so that makes sense. But the only problem with that I have is, why, if let's just say you lived on this region on the plane, so if the sun moved across the sky like that, then you could say Well, if the sun moves across, and let's just say it's here, and it shines daylight here, well, eventually the sun's going to go to the edge, and it's going to get dark again for this region. It'll get dark, but then it'll get light again. So this region will actually get sunlight. It'll actually experience 2 days before this region experiences day again. So how do you account for that? How do you account for nobody can claim on Earth that they get daylight twice before another region gets their daylight? So it'd be like this region would be in darkness. The sun moves across, shines its light here, keeps going to the edge, shines its light here. So now this is in dark, but then it comes back, shines its light here again, and then it goes here, and then it shines its light here. So you see, it would be daylight twice before they got their daylight. So how do you account for that? So there's my first question. And then and so I think what the flat earthers would respond to that like this. They would say, well, if this is the top view, if that's the top view of flat earth, then the sun would move like this, and it would only shine light. I mean, what is the pathway of the sun in any given day? Does it look like this? Does it look like this? So how does the sun travel? And not to mention, how do you account for the positioning of the moon? If you have the moon, then you have to figure out how all that works with the moon. What's their pathway? What pathway do they follow? And what pathway do they follow? And what dictates that pathway? How do the moon and sun not collide? Where's the moon? If the sun is shining light over here, but the moon's over here getting its light, how do you make sense of all that? So I would like a flat earther to explain that. I would definitely appreciate any feedback on that. So, and another thing is, I'll do one more, then I'll stop, because I know it's a lot. But if the earth is flat, and here's the sun, let's just say, then how does the sun travel? Does the sun travel never going below a certain linear path? Or is the sun's trajectory like this? Or does the sun travel like this? Does the sun travel like this? And you would think if the sun does travel like that, like this, then you would think that the sun would be closer to Earth when it reached its extreme. The sun would get closer to Earth at its furthest points on this orbital plane, right? So if the sun was this close to Earth, wouldn't it be like 1,000,000 degrees on Earth in that part of the world? And then if it was above here, let's just say shining light down on, I don't know, Egypt or something, then that would be the coldest part of the day. So I don't understand how these people aren't frying, So that's pretty much what I think, and that's it. If I can get some feedback on that, that'd be great. I'm not the smartest guy. I spent a lot of my prior years just focused on, bad negative things, so I didn't have much time to think about this. But now that I'm a changed man, this is kind of interesting to me. The world's a little new, and I'm learning things for the first time. So things that could be elementary to the rest of the world, but as you may know, I had a different agenda in my earlier life, so didn't have time to focus on this. But I would love some feedback, and I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up there. And I just want to say, Jamie, if you're out there and you see this again, I hope you do find it in your heart to forgive me. I'm calling it up. I'm putting this away, and that's pretty much it. So if I can get some feedback, if Jamie, you want to shoot me a message and say, hey, I forgive you, like we can just call it all off. We don't have to do this anymore. Then I would really appreciate that. And I would even like to take you out to lunch. So let me know. Praise the Lord, and talk to you later.